I've met so many people, and they've been so interesting and so largely grateful. I mean, really 95% of the clients that I have met and engaged through LegalMatch have just been grateful for the help that I've offered them at relatively a very low price point. And LegalMatch has enabled me to connect with people that I never would have connected. Well, I get new leads on a daily basis through LegalMatch, and I respond to almost every lead. There are some types of cases that come through that I'm really not interested in. If it's a very contentious family situation, or if it's a client that's located in the state where I'm not licensed to practice, I'm not going to take that case. Even though the person who has died or has created a will or is creating a will is within the state where I'm licensed, I generally don't work with people out of state unless I feel comfortable doing it. Lead generation. I've had lots of clients. I love my clients. Well, people have become more and more used to remote communication, and I still find clients, or clients find me through LegalMatch, who will say, well, you're not in Manchester, and I want a lawyer in Manchester. And I will say, in fairness, very little legal business has been transacted in person over the last couple of years, and honestly, it saves you money to work with me remotely, and I can work with you via video conference, or we can use email, we can use telephone. It's your choice. If you want someone to be there in person, I completely understand. But I think COVID has made more and more people comfortable with the notion of receiving services remotely. And Lord knows, you can Google any attorney and find out what their reputation is. And I think people feel more comfortable now because of COVID working remotely, so it's generated a lot more business. Whereas I think 3 or 4 years ago, those clients that are located 100 or more miles away from me wouldn't have wanted to work with me, but now they do. Well, the website's really manageable. It's very responsive. It has all sorts of tools for keeping notes on your current cases, for sorting them. So what I generally do is respond through the LegalMatch site immediately, and then I try to send a follow-up email very shortly afterwards, or a text. I prefer email over text, especially as I've become to know my audience, my clientele. It is largely people who've had very little interaction with attorneys before. So I want people to know that I've responded to them. I want to make sure they've received my response and that they can contact me if they'd like to schedule a free initial consultation. So those features are great. And my account managers have all been very diligent about checking in on me. And frankly, I don't need to have my hand held, but it's nice to know that my account managers check on me. And I mean, it's kind of nice. I don't really need them, but I love the fact that they're there. Every day, almost every day, sometimes multiple, sometimes a few days will go by and I won't see anything. But initially I was discouraged when I first signed up in early October because the leads were coming in slowly, and I think part of the creation of estate planning is a cyclical thing, an annual thing, and we were coming into the holidays and people were distracted, and I wasn't seeing the type of quantity or quality cases that I had thought I would be seeing, and I really had some second thoughts about what I was doing, but I knew it was a lead generator for my startup. I knew I was starting to meet people, and I stuck with it, and so glad I did. If I had to pull out of the air the percentage of clients that I consult with that I then engage to create trusts or wills or financial documents or you name it, notices of revocation of trusts, I would say it's a pretty high percentage. And that's because I follow up, and I think when my clients get to know me, they want to work with me. And I always say that when I respond through the LegalMatch site. I say, I'd like to offer you a free 30-minute initial telephone consultation so I can better understand what you want to do, what your intentions are, and so we can determine whether it makes sense for us to work together. I can't fairly answer that because I don't know the answer to it. My understanding is that our clients through LegalMatch are largely people who are searching on the internet for ways to create either trusts or wills, and I haven't spent time to see where the search engines lead them, and I frankly shopping because I like LegalMatch and I like what I'm doing with LegalMatch. I think it's a wonderful service. I think everything I've said summarizes that. I've really enjoyed making connections with people across the broadest income spectrums and ethnicities and types of marriages, traditional or non-traditional. I've just had this wealth of opportunity to meet people that I wouldn't otherwise meet and to make a difference in their lives on a daily basis. So it really is, I'll say it again, it's been some of the most gratifying work I've ever done. And I've been practicing law for 30 years. I've got some tips to respond quickly. When an inquiry comes in through the LegalMatch site, you receive a notification immediately through your phone or your laptop that you have a case. There are other referral attorneys that cover the same area that I cover. So I cover estates and trusts in New Hampshire along with 3 other attorneys. And so in a way I'm competing for business, but I don't really view myself as competing for business. I view myself as doing my job. But the most important thing that I've learned is to respond in a timely fashion, to give as much information as is necessary and no more than is necessary. So I respond and I say, it appears that you're seeking professional legal assistance in doing X, Y, or Z. I have been practicing law in New Hampshire for decades. I've got ample experience with this specialized subject area, and I'd be happy to offer you a free consultation. I pride myself in providing legal services to my clients as efficiently, as inexpensively, and as painlessly as possible, and let me know if you'd like to set up an appointment. And then I'll follow up with an email, usually immediately, or if I'm just on my telephone, I might not do it immediately just because it's harder to either type or dictate into a phone than into a laptop. But I will send an email always afterwards saying I responded, that it's completely worthwhile, and to be patient, because it's not like opening a floodgate and watching the cases stream in. And it depends on what you're looking for. If that's what you're looking for, and you're willing to take any case, then LegalMatch would be great for you. I am not willing to take any case. Again, I won't take contentious cases, super contentious cases, especially if I feel like my client is on the wrong side of the issue, or what I believe is the wrong side of the issue. I would say consider it very seriously. I would be happy to talk to any attorney considering joining LegalMatch just to share my experience. And as I think I've conveyed very clearly, it's been a very positive experience.